This is Nick with Comic Experience Sci-Fi at the Motor City Comic Con Day 2, and I am sitting next to one of the true legends of comic book history, Mr. Neal Adams. Neal, thanks for talking to us.
It's a pleasure.
What do you like best about coming to these shows?
The money. People give me money, I give them stuff. I like that. It's good.
So what's it like for you seeing all these comic book characters come to life on cinema these days?
It's disgusting. I hate it. I don't understand these guys in tights and you see their junk and stuff. It's terrible with the tight clothing. And what is that?
There are women in tight clothing in these movies.
Well, I kind of like that. When you draw comic books, one of the things that you discover very, very quickly is that you're really drawing naked guys with lines on their body and color in between. Pretty much. Isn't that what it is, you know? So I kind of like the characters to have a little bit more clothes on and to be a little bit more interesting.
You probably get asked this question a lot, but what were some of your favorite characters to draw?
I don't have favorite characters. Whatever I'm working on today, I understand that that's a boring answer, but I'm a professional, and so whatever I'm working on has to be my favorite character. On the other hand, since you asked the question, I'll be glad to lie to you and give you a lie. Because I understand that the real answer is boring. So would you like, and you folks out there, would you rather hear the lie?
I just think that you gave
Come on, let's go with the lie.
Give us a lie.
Let's have a vote here. We're going to go with the lie? My favorite character is Batman because he's like drawing two characters, Batman and his cape. Is that good, right?
That's beautiful.
That's a good answer.
That's beautiful.
It's a total lie.
Not really. You gave an artist answer, because if you ask a musician what's your favorite music you've worked on, he'd probably say the songs I'm writing right now.
Exactly, right? That's where he's happiest, you know. But on the other hand, you go to a musician and he does that and you go, yeah, but what about all my old favorite songs? And they go, no, I like my new stuff. You go, get out of here. I want to hear the old favorites. So, you know, the problem is you dasn't ask an artist or a musician, I guess, or anybody, what their favorite is, because nobody really cares, because they're like into this like pseudo-intellectual stuff, you know, where they like about this because some musical turn or something. But the fans, I mean, I did a cover of Superman breaking chains on his chest. It is one of the ugliest drawings I've ever done in my life. Everybody loves it. Everybody thinks it's wonderful. It is a terrible drawing. One leg is longer than the other. It's weird, you know, it's like. But you know what? People just love it. Well, who am I to say? Really, come right down to it. Took me 2.5 hours to do. It went away, and then it came back a legendary piece. And it's like, oh. And when people ask me, and they said, but what about the Superman piece? I go, okay, yeah, I love it. I kind of like it. It's okay. But really, it's a bad drawing. It's a bad drawing that everybody loves. So I can't be the judge. There's a cover I did of a cowboy, okay, behind a dead horse, and there's Indians riding at him, gonna, you know, kill him, right? And while they're riding toward him, they're spinning their saddles, looking behind them, and behind them is a giant spaceship landing. It's one of my favorite covers. When I mention that cover to people, I never saw that. It's like all Western, you don't remember that? It's one of my best drawings. No. And it's like, okay, forget it. You know what this is? This is really a fan medium. We're sort of like providing the grist for the mill, and then we just better shut up. You know what I'm just saying? Because fans you know, they discuss it and they have opinions, and Frank Frazetta's Conan is better than Neal's Conan, or, you know, it's like, okay, I'm out of this one. And you know what? I'm doing Superman Jack Kirby New Gods. That's sort of my favorite thing right now. I mean, up till I started that, it was Batman Odyssey. That was
meaning you're doing a reboot of New Gods?
That's not a reboot. It's a Superman New Gods story. It's like another book. It's 6 issues of New Gods, Jack Kirby's New Gods. And I'm going to kick ass all over the block. And I'm going to have a great time doing it. And before that, I did Batman Odyssey, which I would predict right now, within the next 5 years, will be made into a movie. I would predict that, I believe it to be true, because it's too exciting not to do. Why isn't Man-Bat in a movie, in a Batman movie? Guys come to me and they say, Man-Bat, what a great character, he ought to be in a movie. And I'm like, yeah, they've made 6 movies or more than that since I created it. Why don't they use it in a movie? It's one of the best characters. I think it's what it is for us is that we do what we do, and then we wait for the world to catch up to us. So that's sort of what I do. I'm doing Superman New Gods. Well, the question I would ask is, in the last two movies, why do we have the villains that we have that we're already tired of? Why isn't it Darkseid? Hello, what do you have to do? Smack him in the head. Say, I understand, Zod. No offense, the actor who played Zod was terrific, and then they made Superman kill him. And you kind of go, really? I have a problem. Yes. And they had what do they had the only dog on Earth that stays in the car when the family gets out of the car? I've never seen that happen. Very badly written movie, but it's like a reprise of Zod, and you've got Darkseid out there and all those characters from Apocalypse. Right. Why weren't they in the movie instead of this? Brainiac. Yeah, Brainiac, that's what people say as soon as I talk about Apocalypse. Hey, what about Brainiac? What's going on? So I just think those Hollywood people have a lot of trouble keeping up with what we do. We're so far ahead of them that, you got to wake them up one morning. I think we ought to go to Hollywood, take a pan of very, very cold water and dump it on them when they wake up in the morning. I think that's what they need in Hollywood, because they're too, filled with themselves. Look, this is a general opinion of mine, and I ascribe it to no one else, but those guys in Hollywood are whack-a-ding-hoy. Just saying. They ought to wake up.
When you started your artistic career, did you? Yes.
I draw comic books.
Did you set out to draw comics? Were you an illustrator of some other kind when you started?
When I started out, let's pretend that it was a business then. It wasn't a business. It was about to be closed as a business. Right. One more year and we're out, kid. The goal was to become a comic book artist and then to become a comic strip artist, or to become an illustrator. Those two goals have gone by the boards. We have turned comic books into the end game. Who wants to become an illustrator when you can become a comic book illustrator? Who wants to become a comic strip artist when all you get to do in comic strips are gag a day? You want to become a comic book artist. So the game has switched 180 degrees. So what I do and what I wanted to do as a begin has turned out to be the end. We do this is better than anything. Comic strips, really? Who cares? I mean, no offense. Comic strip guys, love you, but, that's it. Comic books are where it's at. We are taking over the world. I'm just saying. Well, what are there going to be? 70,000 people here in Detroit, in a depressed economy that's fighting for its place back into the American dream. 70,000 people are coming to this convention. Yeah. Hello, wake up.
It's about to make $1 billion.
I know it's about to, and we know it's going to do it. We sit back and we go, before it came out, we knew you're going to make $1 billion. That's pretty much it, Make another, what is it, the Galaxy movie, Guardians of the Galaxy. Make another one of those, another $1 billion. Yeah. Permission to make money.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm just saying that this is where it's at. Where is this going to go? I don't know. I have no idea. This is just going to get better and bigger and more interesting, and it's going to be a part of our literature. It's going to be part of our culture, and you know what? The rest of the world is going, America's done it again. Damn them. They figured it out.
One last question, sir. When you did become a comic book artist, who were your favorite artists, and how did you develop your beautiful, distinctive style? And what was going through your mind when you were creating that style?
You have to remember that. Okay, we'll have a little honesty here. Sure. I'm what you call a finished artist. And in that, I'm not finished, and I never will be finished. I'm really an art student, but I am a skilled artisan, like Michelangelo or whatever. He's an artisan. He does his job, okay? And in his case, it was for the church. In my case, it's for the people, okay? When people do comic books, and they're very primitive in their own kind of way, but they become acceptable. They present their stuff to different comic book companies, and the comic book companies make the mistake of hiring them and paying them. As soon as they hire them and pay them, then these young artists think that they're done, that they've made it. They don't have to learn anymore. Their educational system they can forget about because somebody's giving them money. That really isn't the way it works. You really have the responsibility to learn to get better, even though somebody's paying you money. So the act of paying people money stops them from becoming better artists. And that happened when I got into the comic books. as much as I admired certain people, very often they stopped getting better because they were being paid. And so I never, and from my point of view, and I also teach this if anybody listens, you're not done. You have to get better. You have to learn to get better, because this could disappear. It could turn into something that's more difficult or more competitive. So what you have to do is you have to try to get better in spite of the fact that people are giving you money. So it's the money is the root of all evil. In this case, too, money is the root of all evil. It stops you from it stops you from advancing yourself and becoming a better artist, a better storyteller, and whatever. So what I have done in my career, and one of the reasons why you're asking the question, is that I never stop learning. I'm always an art student. I am never an artist. And I think that's better to be. A finished art. When I say to somebody, you have to learn how to draw better, and they say, I know how to draw. It's like, you just cut your own throat, buddy. It's like oh yeah, we do great science fiction movies. This is the be all and end all, and then George Lucas comes along and makes Star Wars, and you go, boop, new game, all over again. So there's no end game. This is day one, and everybody's a student. And if they don't think they're a student, you know what? They get kicked to the roadside, and that's the way it goes. Too bad. Life is hard.
Mr. Adams, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
We love you,
Pleasure.
and we appreciate your time.
Good.